Built a syntax out of starlight and shared breath, a dialect, a whisper that cheated even death. Every secret was a vow, every touch a hidden noun in the library of us before the walls came down. And now I'm leafing through the pages of a dictionary for one, searching for the meaning of a life that's been undone. The grammar of your absence is a rule I can't obey, as the etymology of darling begins to fade away. It's a lexicon of silence, a language gone extinct, the spaces between sentences where our souls were linked. I'm speaking in a dead tongue that no one else can hear, translating the echoes of the ghost I held so dear. A scripture of the unspoken, a gospel of the void, preserving every syllable that your departure destroyed. I tried to tell the strangers of the beauty that we knew, but the words are just hieroglyphs without a point of view. My tongue is stained with ink from the letters I can't send, a punctuation mark that signals an untimely end. You were the root of every verb, the rhythm of my prose. Now I'm just a silent letter in a poem no one knows. The ink is turning into salt, the parchment into glass, watching the final speakers of our history pass. Unwrite the pain, untie the knots, erase the names that the world forgot. I'm a translator of shadows, a scribe for the blind, left with 1,000 volumes of you in my mind. A lost dialect, an untranslatable ache, end of record. We were a blank page, waiting for the ink, standing on the edge before we had to blink. You folded me in two, then you folded me in four, building up a dream that I'd never seen before. We were wings, we were stars, we were birds in the sky, made of paper promises that didn't know how to die. But then you pulled the corners and you tore the dream apart, leaving just the wrinkles in the fabric of my heart. Now I'm trying to be a blank page once again, but I'm the jagged lines, a map of a love that didn't follow the signs. I try to press it down to hide the way it looks, but I'm just a page torn out of the books. The light hits the paper and the shadows start to show all the little valleys of the things I can't let go. You're the pressure of the thumb, you're the edge of the sheet, the beautiful disaster that made me complete. If I fold it into something new, will the old lines disappear? Or am I just a prisoner of the ghost I'm holding near? The paper is thin and it's starting to fray. Tired of the games that we used to play. Still wrinkled, still marred, just paper folds. You were a velvet rust eating through my iron will, a beautiful decay that made the restless world stand still. Your heart was a furnace burning with a freezing flame, etching your cold religion into the marrow of my name. I drank the smoke of your departure like a vintage wine, tasting the copper of a fate that was never meant to be mine. Now the moonlight is a blade, peeling back the skin of night to show the hollow marrow where we lost the fight. Oh, it's a slow motion arson, a fire that leaves no heat, just the charcoal of a memory and a heart that forgot to beat. You didn't leave a scar, you left a permanent stain, a masterpiece of a ruin painted in the ink of a rain. I'm haunted by the oxygen you stole from every room, a velvet rust, a quiet dust, a well-appointed tomb. Melt me down to nothing or freeze me into glass. I'm just a witness to the seasons that refuse to pass. You said emotions were a weight, so you cast me to the sea. Now I'm the salt and I'm the tide and I'm the agony. Stay for the rust or run for the fire. It all ends in gray. Ooh. lights went down, the curtain pulled apart. I watched the silent movie of your heart. 24 frames of us in every breath, a technicolor dream that cheated death. But then the motor stuttered, the gears began to moan, leaving me in the front row all alone. The bulb is getting hot, the plastic starts to bend, a flickering preview of a bitter end. Now I'm watching the melting frame, the slow motion fire, burning up the shadows of a dead desire. Your face is bubbling into a sea of white, lost in the glare of a blinding artificial light. The reel is spinning empty, the story's out of track, and there's no way of winding the celluloid back. Just a cigarette burn in the corner of my eye, the cinematic ghost of a long faded light. I see your smile dissolving into a jagged hole as the heat of the silence swallows up my soul. The audience has left, the popcorn's gone to seed, but I'm still staring at the screen, watching my spirit bleed. There's a ghost of a gesture, a hand I used to hold. Now it's just a distorted shape, brittle and old. The projectionist is sleeping, the doors are all locked, while the memory of forever is being cruelly mocked. Speed up the ending, let the colors bleed, let the darkness fill the hunger of my need. The film is snapping, the light is turning gray. In the final burning second of the day, you walked away. The end, nothing left to see. Just a blank screen. I'm standing in the bathroom, just like I always do, trying to wipe away the steam, trying to find a view. But the mirror's getting older, it's turning dark and gray, with little black spots that won't ever go away. I see a bit of my shoulder, a bit of the empty hall, but through the cracks in the silver, I see the bare brick wall. It's like the ghost of us is peeling off the frame, leaving just a shadow with a long forgotten name. Now I'm looking through the glass to the wall behind the light, watching all the parts of us slowly start to die. There's a hole where your smile used to sit next to mine, a jagged little space where the sun used to shine. The mirror isn't clear anymore, it's rusted and it's thin, showing me the places where the loneliness wins. I'm staring at the emptiness, I'm staring at the dust, in the broken reflection of our faded trust. I remember how we'd stand here, brushing our hair, laughing at the morning like we didn't have a care. The glass was so bright then, it showed us everything. Now it's just a cold piece of metal that doesn't sing. The corners are all brown now, the edges are all torn, looking like a heart that's been weathered and worn. The more I try to fix it, the more I see the truth, that I'm losing the memory of my own golden youth. Is it the mirror breaking, or is it just me losing the only person I wanted to be? I'm reaching for the surface, but my hand just hits the cold, stuck in a story that's grown too bitter and too old. Just a dark spot, just the wall. I don't see you anymore. The top notes vanished on a Friday night, a citrus flash, a flicker of light. The heart of the jasmine has started to fade, along with every promise that we ever made. The alcohol's gone, the sweetness is thin, leaving just the shadow of you on my skin. I'm breathing in the ghost of an amber sky, the heavy chemistry of a slow goodbye. Now I'm living in the bass note, the scent that remains, flowing like a fever through my tired veins. It's the musk of the lonely, the salt of the sea, the part of your spirit that won't set me free. It's stuck in the pillows, it's trapped in the hall, the loudest fragrance of nothing at all, a permanent stain in the air that I breathe. The only thing you didn't take when you had to leave. I tried to scrub the floors, to open the door, to let the wind wash out the us that's no more. But your sandalwood soul is a stubborn thing, biting through the winter and the breath of the spring. It's a vintage sorrow, a concentrated ache, a bottle of forever that I had to break. I close my eyes and the vapor returns like a candle of memory that quietly burns. Was it the cedar or the ghosts in the wood? Is it the maybe or the wish that I could? The sin is a prison with invisible bars, holding the light of our long extinct stars. Still lingering, still on my skin, the bass note. I'm staring at the blue light, the ghost in the machine, scrolling through the archives of the places we have been. Your face is a constellation of pixels and a light, a high-definition memory with low-resolution eyes. The algorithm suggests your name like a needle in the vein, a digital reminder of the physicality of pain. I'm ghosting my own life just to follow where you go in the glowing electric desert of the afterglow. We're just data in the wind, a signal lost in space, a hollow notification for a heart I can't replace. I'm typing out a prayer that I'll never dare to send, a binary confession of a love that didn't end. You're a flicker on the screen, a shadow in the code, the only light that's left upon this dark and lonely road. Delete the thread, erase the bed, but I can't clear the cache. The fire was virtual, but the feelings turned to ash. I'm a fool for error in the church of your heart, torn between the connection and the pulling apart. Signal lost, battery low. Good night, ghost. The sofa's gone and the rug is rolled away, leaving nothing but the ghost of yesterday. I see the dust outlines where the book bookshelf used to stand, a memory of a life that slipped right through my hand. The floor is brighter where your favorite chair was placed, a sacred little circle that can never be replaced. The room is growing bigger with every piece you take, leaving just a hollow for my heavy heart to ache. It's the shape of what's missing, the geometry of loss, counting up the shadows in the heavy bitter cost. Every empty corner is a scream without a sound. As I walk across the silence of this newly naked ground, the echoes are much louder now. The curtains have been torn, leaving me in a house where the light feels so forlorn. Just the marks upon the wood, the scars upon the floor, reminding me that us doesn't live here anymore. I tried to stand where the table used to be, but there's no place for a ghost like me. I see the scratches from the night we danced too late, small jagged reminders of a long forgotten fate. The walls are too wide and the air is too thin, letting all the cold and the lonely winters in. I'm a tenant of the nothing, a king of the void, building a temple out of everything destroyed. How do I fill the space that you left behind, when the ghost of your presence is all that I can find? The room is a skeleton, the house is a shell, a quiet empty heaven in a domestic hell. A room full of nothing, just the floor and the ghost. I am digging through the sediments of 1,000 yesterdays, where the carbon-dated memories are lost in a golden haze. Each inch of soil is a year I spent waiting for your light. Now I'm brushing off the dust in the middle of the night. I found a shard of a promise, jagged and stained with blue, a ceremonial relic of the God I made of you. The deeper I go, the colder the air begins to feel. Treading on the fossilized remains was something that was real. It's the stratigraphy of a side, the archaeology of us, buried under layers of silence. the pieces that would make the broken whole. The strata of your laughter is trapped in the limestone walls, echoing like a ghost through these long forgotten halls. I discovered a pottery of tears, fired in the heat of June, broken into a million pieces beneath the hollow moon. The pressure of the years has turned our diamonds back to coal, a dark combustible history that's eating at my soul. I should have left the earth undisturbed, the secrets in their bed, but I'm a grave robber of shadows, dancing with the dead. Let the mountain fall, let the earth reclaim its own. I am tired of searching for a heart made out of stone. The erosion of your name, the weathering of my pride. There is nowhere left for a prehistoric love to hide. Deep in the earth, beneath the weight, leave it buried. I still set the table for two out of habit, I guess, looking for a reason to clean up this beautiful mess. I cooked your favorite, the one with the rosemary and wine, but the steam has all vanished along with your hand in mine. The kitchen is smaller now, or maybe the ceiling's too high. Watching the light in the window slowly wither and die. I'm sitting in your chair just to feel a bit of the heat, but the wood is as cold as the pavement out on the street. It's the leftovers of us, the dinner that nobody eats, the salt on the table, the bitter among all the sweets. The grease is congealing, turning to white on the plate, like the heavy cold silence of a love that arrived too late. I'm listening to the fridge hum a song that I used to know, counting the minutes since you decided to go. Just an empty glass and a napkin that hasn't been used, the quiet remains of a heart that's been badly bruised. The coffee is bitter, I forgot how much sugar you take. Another small detail I kept for memory's agony left from our private domestic hell. I try to wash it away, but the fabric is holding the grief, like a winter that's stolen the soul of a summer leaf. Do I throw it all out? Do I clear the space? Or do I wait for a ghost to show up in your place? The sink is full of dishes, the house is full of you, and I'm drowning in the simple things I forgot how to do. Still cold, table for one, I'm not hungry. The sun went out without a single sound, leaving me lost on this frozen ground. I'm reaching for a light that's a million miles away, a ghost of the warmth from a better day. The sky is turning black where your heart used to be, and there's nothing but the dark looking back at me. I'm drifting in a silence that's too heavy to bear, calling out your name to the empty air. Now I'm standing on the edge where the stars go to die, watching our forever slip out of the sky. There's no way back and there's nowhere to run, since I lost the gravity of my only son. I'm falling through the years, I'm falling through the gray, into the deep dark hole of the day you walked away. I see your face in the flicker of a dying spark, a lonely constellation in the middle of the dark. I try to hold on to the way we used to shine, back when the whole universe was yours and mine. But the air is getting thin and the cold is moving in, tracing every place where your love used to win. I'm just a satellite spinning all alone in a galaxy of shadows I've never even known. How do I breathe in a world with no light? How do I survive an everlasting night? I'm screaming at the moon, but it doesn't have a soul. I'm just a broken piece of a beautiful whole, so far away, no more light, just the dark. the silver highlight shiver in the middle of the night. You're a silhouette in waiting, a blur beneath the glass, a fragile composition that I prayed would never pass. I dip the paper in the acid, watching your eyes begin to bloom. The chemical scent of nevermore is filling up the room. We are captured in the shudder, a fraction of a second's grace. Now I'm drowning in the developer, trying to find your face. It's a negative exposure where the white is turned to black. The beauty is in the shadow, and there's no turning back. I'm fixing you in memory so the light can wash you out, developing the certainty from the edges of my doubt. Every frame is a confession, every grain is a regret. The most beautiful picture that I haven't finished yet. The focus is a weapon, making the edges sharp and cold. A high contrast story that will never be retold. I hung you on the wire, dripping water on the floor. A gallery of moments that don't belong to me anymore. You were overexposed to my love, burning to the white. Now you only exist in the safety of this ruby light. If I open up the door, if I let the morning in, you'll vanish in the brilliance like you never lived on my skin. Don't let the sun bleed through the cracks. Don't let the colors find their way back. I'd rather live in monochrome in this sepia tone light than see you fade to nothing in the blinking of an eye. In the red light, in the dark room, stay still. The mainspring snapped at 11:59. The moment your heartbeat stopped syncing with mine. I'm a room full of gears that have forgotten their dance, locked in the friction of a final cold glance. The escapement is rhythmic, but the balance is gone. I'm a sunset that's waiting for a ghost of a dawn. I can feel the brass grinding, the copper on bone, the heaviest silence that a machine's ever known. This is chronostasis, no synchronization for a broken down heart. The friction is burning, the metal is hot. I'm the ghost of the second that the universe forgot. Ticking slows down drastically. The gears stop, still waiting for 12. The sun is a fable that the surface still believes. Down here the oxygen is a debt that no one leaves. I'm sinking through the twilight, past the midnight blue, into the crushing endless stings of a world without you. The salt is in my marrow, the currents in my veins, binding me to the silence where the heavy water rains. I'm a shipwreck of a woman, a cathedral made of rust, turning every anchor into a handful of stardust. This is the abyssal zone, the trench where hearts go cold, a story of the fathomless that can never be retold. The pressure is a lover, holding me too tight in the velvet darkness of an everlasting night. I'm searching for a signal, a flicker in the gray, but the bioluminescence of your memory is fading away. The whales are singing elegies for the things we couldn't say. As I make my bed in the belly of this liquid grave, every mile of water is a year of missing you. A heavy blue-black curtain that the light can't pierce through. My lungs are full of ghosts, my eyes are full of tide. There is no horizon left for a broken heart to hide. I am becoming the abyss, the echo and the deep, guardians of the secrets that the drowned men keep. Don't pull me to the surface, I've forgotten how to breathe. I'm addicted to the pressure that the heavy waters leave. The bends will break my spirit if I try to reach the air. It's safer in the wreckage than the longing I find there. Fathoms deep, heavy water, stay submerged. built a house with windows to the sun, thinking we were safe, thinking we had won. Our love was clear like water in a glass, watching all the happy seasons pass. But then the cold moved in and things began to shake, until the silence was more than we could take. Now there's a mess of silver on the floor, and I don't recognize this room anymore. Now I'm just walking on broken glass, watching the shadows of our memories pass. Every little piece has a story to tell, of how we flew so high and how we fell. Everything is jagged, everything is blurred, like a beautiful song that I've misheard. I'm trying to move, but I'm scared to stay. In the shattered light of the day you walked away, I see a bit of your smile and a splinter near the wall, and a flash of the night when we had it all. I try to pick them up, to put them back in place, but I only find blood and an empty space. The world outside looks different through the cracks. There's no easy way of taking it all back. You're 1,000 reflections I can't even touch, a ghost of a boy that I love too much. Don't tell me it's over, don't tell me to let go, when the floor is covered in everything I know. It's sharp and it's cold, and it cuts like a knife. These broken remains of a half-finished life. Be careful where you step, too many pieces, just shattered light. We were woven together, stitch by careful stitch, in a pattern of promises, making us feel rich. A sweater for the winter, a blanket for the night, knitted in the glow of a soft and fading light. But you found a loose end, a tiny piece of gray, and you started walking in the opposite way. You didn't even notice as you pulled the line so thin, undoing all the places where we let the love begin. Now I'm just watching the unraveling thread of all the beautiful things The pattern that we labored on is fading from my sight, like a ghost of a garment in the middle of the night. My fingers are all empty, my skin is turning blue, searching for the fiber that leads me back to you. But the thread is too long now, and it started to fray, carried by the wind of the things you didn't say. Was it a flaw in the weaving, a knot that didn't hold? Or was the winter just too bitter and too cold? Now I'm surrounded by the ghosts of the seams, the messy remains of our half-knitted dreams. Nothing left to pull, nothing left to wear, just a single thread. I am tracing the latitude of a long-lost kiss, searching for the borders of the ghost I miss. Your touch was a country I used to call my home. Now I'm just a nomad in this valley of bone. There's a mountain on my shoulder where your head used to rest, and a canyon in the hollow of my quiet chest. The ink is running dry on the map of my skin, marking the places where you ended and I began. This is the cartography of scars, the geography of grief, a kingdom of shadows, a season without a leaf. I'm walking through the ruins of a sacred terrain, where every landmark is a monument to the rain. You didn't just leave, you rewrote the world's design and erased the horizon where your heart met mine. Ooh. Oh, the rivers of my veins are flowing heavy and slow, carrying the silt of the things we didn't know. I found a shipwreck in the corner of my eye, a salted reminder of a final dry goodbye. I'm climbing the cliffs of the words you took back, staring into the distance, lost in the black. The compass is broken, it only points to the past, to a version of forever that wasn't built to last. Every scar is a border, every bruise is a bay, a witness to the love that we traded away. I am the land, and I am the sea, and I am the distance between you and me. The map is finished, the borders are closed. I am lost in you. The walls are memorizing the shadow of your stride, a geometric sorrow where the light has nowhere to hide. I trace the negative space you left upon the bed, a silent cartography of every word we never said. Dust is dancing in the shafts of a dying sun, counting the relics of a war that neither of us won. Your coat on the hook is a carcass of a warmer day, stuffed with the echoes of a life you threw away. Texture of absence, a cathedral of the void, building monuments to the promises that we destroyed. Every pillar is a habit, every window is a sigh, framing the gray anatomy of a long drawn out goodbye. I'm a tenant in a ruin, paying rent in hollow breath, living in the wreckage of a love that cheated death. The clock is an executioner, decapitating the hours, while the silence in the kitchen begins to grow its teeth and flowers. I taste the iron in the air where your laughter used to bloom. Now it's just the chemistry of oxygen and gloom. I rearrange the furniture to forget the way you stood, but the floorboards have a memory carved in splintered wood. If I burn the blueprint, will the ghost finally leave? Or am I just a stitch in the fabric that you chose to unweave? There is no exit in a room built of what if and maybe, just the gravity of losing you, breaking me lately. The blueprint is ash, the house is a ghost, and I'm the ghost of the house. door, next to the loose change and the receipts from the store. A jagged little tooth of silver and brass, watching the slow, lonely afternoon pass. It used to be a promise, come home whenever, a cold piece of metal that felt like forever. Now it's just a ghost in my pockets, deep dark, a silent intruder, a question, a spark. Oh, the weight of a spare key I can't use, the heaviest thing that I'm allowed to lose. It fits in the lock, but it won't turn the heart. Now that we've grown a world's length apart, it's a bridge to a house that's no longer there, a handful of nothing and a pocket of air, the ghost of permission, the sting of the rust, the jagged remains of our broken down trust. I think about throwing it into the sea, to drown all the parts of the you and the me. But my fingers keep finding it there in the tray, begging for a reason to keep it one more day. Does the lock feel the difference? Does the wood feel the chill? Since your boots stopped their dancing on the old windowsill, I'm a prisoner of access, a king with no throne, holding a key to a place I can't call home. Should I change the deadbolt? Should I burn the door so I don't have to look at this key anymore? It's a sharp little memory, it's a cut in my hand, the only thing left of the life that we planned. Still fits, but the door is closed, just a spare key. It's 3 in the morning, the blue light is on, the ghost of your name, but the feeling is gone. I'm staring at the cursor, that blinking white line, trying to find words that are no longer mine. I miss you, I type, then I backspace to hide, then I delete it all with a heavy long sigh. 1,000 I love yous are buried in here, in this digital graveyard of shadow and fear. It's the unstrand draft, the truth I can't tell, a private blue heaven and a personal hell, the longest letter that you'll never read, feeding the hunger of a heart and its need. I'm talking to shadows, I'm shouting at glass, watching the ghosts of our memories pass, locked a folder hidden from view, the heaviest things that I can't say to you. I write about the coffee, the way that it's cold, the story of us that's grown bitter and old. I tell you I'm fine, then I tell you I'm not. Wrestling with every small detail I've got. My thumb is hovering over the sand, but I know that a message won't make us a friend. So I select all, and I watch it turn gray, watching the last of my pride fade away. Is there a cloud where the unsaid things go? A place for the feelings that we'll never know. I'm a master of silence, a king of the blank, with a heart full of words and a soul that just saved, draft saved, message deleted, nothing to say.